Hello, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to continue my conversation on offense. I want to continue my conversation on offense. In my years of providing spiritual counsel and spiritual space, holding space for others, I have found that there are two situations in a person's life where they can be easily offended, that they just walk around and every time they turn around, they're offended by something, and many times they don't know until somebody that loves them and cares for their growth and development points it out to them. The first point being is that you don't have clear boundaries, and for whatever situation it is, you don't have clear boundaries. And so when you don't have clear boundaries, you are not able to determine where another person begins and you end. And so therefore you definitely can't communicate to another person where they end and where you begin. It's like not having a fence around your property line. People can come and go through your yard and take, right? People can come and go through your emotional space and take. People can come and go through your network and take if you don't have clear boundaries established. And guess what? Sometimes we don't know the boundaries that we need in certain situations until we approach them. And that comes with wisdom and maturing spiritually and discernment. Second circumstance is that, okay, maybe you have the boundaries that go along with that situation, but you're not emotionally mature enough in that particular circumstance to communicate what your boundary is. And maybe you're holding back your communication of your boundary out of the fact that you're going to lose somebody, right? But guess what? Those two situations are the same for me. They got the same end result, whether you don't have boundaries or you have boundaries and you don't know how to communicate them. To me, they are one and the same. They're going to get you the same result, that you're going to always be offended. You're going to always be offended. And so as you grow, as you spiritually mature, as you have more life situations and things that you walk through, you're going to begin to develop better boundaries. But at the same time, you need to develop better communication skills, right? And many times a great therapist can help you with that. There's some good books that I think over my course of just seeing a therapist in life have been recommended to me. There's a book called Boundaries, and there's also a book called Safe People. Because if you find yourself consistently around people who are breaking your boundaries, you need to turn around and ask yourself, why do I keep finding myself around people that break boundaries? Am I seeking out safe people? And in order to know safe people, it requires discernment and observation, and literally just listening to the Spirit of God as you begin to interact with people to know whether they are safe people. You know, there's so many of us who are wasting energy that could be put towards things that are powerful and uplifting of others and for the move of God in the earth realm. But we're spending our time always uncoupling ourselves from people who hurt us or people who just break our boundaries, even when we communicate them. But at some point, you've got to stop and say, am I seeking out safe people? I've had to do that at some point in my life. Sit back and say, you know what? I don't have to make it so easy for people to attach themselves to me. I don't have to make it so easy where people just assume that we are friends. But I get to observe, I get to determine how much energy that I put into a person and determine, is this someone that I want in close physical proximity to me, in close energetic proximity to me? Because I get to observe how they handle the other people in their lives. And so a part of that, having safe people in our lives, is just not about other people, but it's us understanding our boundaries and taking a moment to observe people over time and make a wise decision. And many times, if we will listen to the Spirit of God when we have interacted with a person over coffee or over lunch or in the sanctuary, we will know where a person is on their journey. And if they are in close proximity enough to the space that we've come in our life, right? Healing and wholeness and our perspectives in life, is that somebody that's an acquaintance or that becomes a best friend? And so if we cannot choose safe people, we're going to always be offended. And a part of choosing safe people is knowing your boundaries and developing boundaries for different situations, but then also having the courage and the emotional maturity to communicate those boundaries. This has been Eva Melton. I pray you have a great day. Bye-bye.